Greg, stop reviewing so many PS1 games. Start reviewing more 64 games. Review more Sega games. Quit being so mean. Greg, you suck. Your videos suck.
Shut the fuck up! Just shut the fuck up, you fucking losers! Oh, fuck! Damn! Oh, I need to stop worrying about this shit. This stupid shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's better. That's better. Yeah. Oh, that's the spot. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Atelier Iris Eternal Mana for the PlayStation 2 is, for the first time in my life, I'm going to use this term, cute. This is a very cute game. It has a storybook universe, saccharine characters, and it feels like a throwback to the glory days of the Super Nintendo's role-playing games. It's like playing Secret of Mana all over again. If you're a fan of the old turn-based style RPGs, even if you're a fan of jrpgs, you're probably really gonna like this game. And I know I did. I'm gonna start off with the graphics and just get this out there. The graphics are very old school. It looks like the Super Nintendo / PS1 RPG look. It has kind of the watercolor, artistic looking pre-rendered backgrounds. It's very colorful. The environments look very, they're very good on the eyes. It's very good to look at. It's easy to look at. It's fun to look at, and the environments look like art. I mean, it's all art. This game is art. And that's what the old Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 RPGs were. They were pieces of art. Games like this are a lost treasure. For me, my fondest moments in gaming are playing games with these beautiful pre-rendered backgrounds. Now, here is where Atelier Iris really shines, in my opinion. And the item crafting and the mana synthesis in this game it's pretty well made. There's a lot to it. It's kind of fun once you get the hang of it. It reminds me of Final Fantasy VIII, and a lot of people have mixed opinions on the draw system that Final Fantasy VIII had, where you would go to a specific draw point in the world and you would draw your magic, and basically your magic were items, or they would deplete each time you used it. This game is similar to that, where but instead you will run around the world and destroy different items and extract mana out of these items. The items then disappear, they are destroyed. You have now extracted that mana, and it is now available to you to craft different items with that mana. You can craft weapons with that mana. You can make recipes to create different specialty items, and it can be fun. It takes a lot of time, but this game isn't hard enough to where you're going to have to just constantly be making powerful items and powerful weapons. That's what makes it fun, is it's not so hard to where you just constantly have to be doing this. And it can be fun crafting different magic, mana, items, weapons, etc. Now, as you progress through the game, you collect these things called mana. Now, mana are spiritual creatures who help Klein, the main character, use elements to create magical items. Mana can also be equipped to a character, resulting in specific stat bonuses as the mana and the character level up. Some mana give you special powers that you'll have to use to get through some of the dungeons in the game. For example, the mana of stone can be summoned to serve as a step ladder to get up to different higher plateaus in each area that would otherwise be inaccessible if you didn't have that mana. As you collect mana, these special powers are represented by an icon on a small dial in the upper left corner of the screen. You can cycle through the abilities with the R1 and L1 buttons and activate them with the square button. So this just gives you more incentive to collect every item you find, and these mana are found in these purple treasure box looking things. The story is probably the weakness of this game. It's your typical run-of-the-mill cookie cutter RPG story. The world is on the brink of destruction, yada yada yada, because a madman is hell-bent on reviving an ancient and deadly power that he thinks will save humanity somehow. And the main character, Klein, has unique powers, and because of these unique powers, he is in position to stop the madman. And this madman's name is Mole. And you'll travel around the world seeking out mana and completing a variety of side quests, all while using your alchemy skills to outfit yourself and your friends with the latest magical equipment and items. Atelier Iris's soundtrack is surprisingly really catchy. I really enjoyed this soundtrack. I would actually probably put this in my top 15 favorite soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game. I actually was pleasantly surprised with this game's soundtrack. They're just very memorable, they're catchy, and they just stick in your head. When music from a video game sticks in your head after you have gotten done turning off the power button on the console, you know it was a very good soundtrack. In terms of difficulty, for me, I found this game to be pretty hard. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would probably give this game an 8, with 10 being the hardest. There were 2 bosses I had difficulty with, and the end boss was easily the hardest. I probably died 5 to 10 times in that range, and it takes thought, it takes strategy. You're not just going to be able to go right into the fight and attack every time, or use abilities to on the offense every turn. You're going to have to take your time, you're going to have to heal a lot, and you're going to actually probably need a little bit of luck if you don't know what you're doing. And it took me a little while to beat this game, but after a while I was able to figure out what to do, and because I had to strategize what I was doing, when I ended up beating the game, it felt that much more gratifying. You know, these RPGs are not going to be easy. If you've played any of the Super Nintendo or PlayStation 1 RPGs, you're going to realize that these games aren't typically easy. And this game definitely is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. The world map kind of reminds me of The Legend of Dragoon, where you're limited to this kind of like a small road that you have to follow in between each town and dungeon that you explore. And the towns and the dungeons in this game are definitely not that big, but they're decent sized. The game is decent sized, but it's not massive by any stretch of the imagination. This game is not huge. It doesn't compare to Final Fantasy VII or 8 or 9 or definitely not 12 or Dragon Quest 8 or any of those great games. Like I said, this is a really cute game, which sounds weird, but it's a good game nonetheless. The world is colorful, it has different areas to look at, but by no stretch of the imagination is this a large game. But it did take me, I believe, around 60 hours to beat this game. You're gonna have to level up. Another cool thing is, not only is this game an RPG, but it also has some platforming elements mixed into it, and puzzle elements. which really helps add to the experience for people that aren't hardcore RPG gamers but love their platformers and their puzzle games. This game has a little bit of everything for everyone. The bottom line is Atelier Iris is basically an ode to the old Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1 RPGs. It's a tip of the hat to those classic great games, and to be quite honest, it's probably just as good as a lot of them. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a game for the nostalgic RPG fans out there that are post 25 years old. I know I enjoyed it. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it sure as hell isn't the worst game either. So check it out if you like JRPGs. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And goodbye, my friends.